Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This week we had a lot going on. We had an anniversary and we had back to school and we went to the county fair with some of our family. Bear with me for a few minutes while I share some clips of the kiddos on the rides. Every year when the county fair comes, it signifies to me that it's the end of summer and back to school. And I just love it so much. It's like the very end of August, the end of summer, and the beginning of fall. And here are some of the littles on the little rides. They were not big enough to go on any of the big rides yet. And of course, we all enjoyed the 4-H barns and getting to see all of the animals. The next night, Bill and I went out to dinner at Blackrock for our anniversary. The food was so delicious and we had so much to bring home with us. There was no way that we could eat all that we ordered. This burger came between 2 pieces of fried cheese instead of a bun. And these truffle fries were just amazing. Okay, now let's get down to some cooking at home. I'm still adjusting to getting out of work at 5 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock and getting dinner done at a reasonable time. And also with back to school, I am all about fast and easy weekday meals. So I'm starting off by making some BLT quesadillas, and on the side we are just having some canned baked beans. And so to start, I just put the tortilla into a frying pan that I sprayed with some olive oil. I have some mayo on 1/2. I put my tomato slices down on top of that mayo and just a little bit of lettuce on mine because I am not supposed to be eating lettuce with my stomach issues, but every now and then I do sneak it in. And my shortcut for this meal is using the Great Value pre-cooked bacon. It just saved a lot of time and it tastes good. The price wasn't too bad for what we were using it for. We didn't need that much. And I heated this bacon up in the microwave before putting it in the quesadilla so it is warmed up. Next, I put on 2 slices of white American cheese. This is really good for things that you want to melt up pretty fast. This cheese melts quickly. And it gives that tortilla something to stick to when you fold it over. So to me, a good golden brown tortilla is the best. And those little black spots on it to me are just the best thing ever. Now, I don't have to flip this quesadilla over because I let that tortilla rest in the pan while I was making it and it got cooked on both sides already. So I'm just taking it out of the pan and I'm only going to cut it in half this time because I'm going to eat this whole quesadilla myself. And this is how it looked like when it was all finished. It was so good and the guys just really loved BLT quesadillas. But they pretty much like anything that has bacon in it. We just had our baked beans on the side, and that was our quick after work, after school dinner. It has been sweltering hot here, so this was a really good choice for a hot summer day. The next meal is an easy and quick chicken tortilla soup. And first, I am going to add a can of diced tomatoes with green chilies to my crock pot with the liner in it. And then I'm going to add 5 cans of water using the tomato can. And so through the art of editing, I am showing you all 5 cans of water going in. And then I am just going to add a heaping teaspoonful of Better Than Bouillon chicken flavor. Next, I poured in a small can of diced green chilies. I'm using about a half a pack of a ranch seasoning pouch. And then I'm using the whole package of street taco seasoning, a couple of handfuls of the frozen green bell peppers from my freezer, a rinsed can of dark kidney beans, another big heaping tablespoonful of minced garlic, next I threw in a medium-sized chopped onion, and just a couple of squirts of this tomato paste. Then a can of cream style corn. Some salt. And a couple giant pinches of black pepper. One of the shortcuts that I'm using for this tortilla soup is this Tyson oven roasted, grilled and ready diced chicken breast, and I'm just going to pour the whole bag right into the crock pot. And this would be easy to make the soup if you started with raw chicken breast and then just shredded it, but I was going for super easy and convenient. I was not going to be home on this day for dinner. At dinner time, I had mine much later, and so I didn't want to have my crock pot on high all day. I literally put this on low for a few hours and then on warm. So I did add a can of drained and rinsed black beans also. And then I added cheese because I tend to add cheese to most everything that I cook, it seems. I just feel like cheese makes most things better. I also knew that the cheese would thicken this soup up just a little bit the way that I wanted it to be. And like I said, it has been a sweltering hot week, and we are only using window air conditioner in our bedroom because our other air conditioner is not working in the downstairs of our house, so our kitchen is super hot. And so the crock pot was a good idea for a meal that would not heat up the kitchen any more than it already is. So after an hour or so, I realized that I never added the cilantro, and I am just using some dried cilantro, and I am using the juice, squeezing the juice of half a lime into this soup, and then I'm just going to give it a stir and put the lid back on and let it go. I had to work until 8 p.m. so I had my soup when I came home that night. It was delicious. I got a text at work saying how much Bill liked this soup, and I was a little worried about serving soup in the summertime, but it was a big hit, and I will definitely make this tortilla soup again for dinner or for lunch. And this is what my bowl of soup looked like when I got home from work. I added some extra cheese and some tortilla strips and some lime on the side, and that just brightened up the soup so much. It was such a refreshing summertime soup for dinner. Keeping it simple, our next weeknight dinner is sausage gravy, hash browns, and eggs. And Bill actually started making this dinner before I got home from work this day. It has been an adjustment for all of us with our new work times and school schedules and everything, and he has been such a big help. He started by getting the sausage in the pan and browning it, getting it browned up. I don't have a clip of the flour being added, but I used about a half a cup for this amount of sausage, and I just cooked it until all pieces of sausage were coated really good and that flour was cooked enough so that there was no flour taste. And then my rule with sausage gravy is usually that I just add enough milk to cover or submerge the sausage pieces, and it usually turns out perfect.
Spider, look, the spiders. Watch the spider.
And if I make an error, it's usually on the thinner side, and then I just add more thickening like cornstarch or something to it if I need to. And I just let that gravy cook until it's bubbly on medium high heat, and I give it a stir. And at some point you will have to stir it almost constantly to keep the milk from forming a skim on the bottom of the pan. You don't want that. You want to make sure that's all getting mixed in there and that flour is getting evenly distributed and thickening up that gravy. So our potatoes, we had added some garlic and some butter, some salt and pepper. I have some eggs on the back, and look at all that pepper I put on my eggs. I just love it. So we're just having some fried eggs. Cameron doesn't like eggs, and he likes his sausage gravy on toast, so I made some toast and then ripped it up, a little bit of potatoes on the side and some sausage gravy. And here is mine. I have my 2 eggs and my hash browns. I'm just putting my gravy on top of my hash browns. It was so good and so easy and quick. And the final easy weeknight meal that we had was super simple steak sandwiches. And the shortcut that I used for these steak sandwiches was this Great Value frozen steak that Bill started in this big skillet. And we added some onions and green peppers, some garlic and salt and pepper, and some Worcestershire sauce. And here I'm adding some mushrooms. And then you will see these mushrooms in a different pan because I realized that the boys do not like mushrooms, so I picked them all out. Yeah, I'm nice like that. So in the air fryer, I have some hoagie buns that were frozen. I put them directly in the freezer when I bought them. These are from Walmart, and I knew that I would be using them later. And with the heat and humidity that we have right now, I know that bread is not safe sitting out or in a bread box right now. So it went directly into the freezer, and I just popped it into my toaster oven for a few minutes and thawed them and then toasted them, and they were just perfect. They were still soft on the inside. And then after this meat is all cooked up and the onions are soft, I just put a layer of this Havarti cheese on top. This is a semi-soft cheese and it melted really super quick. I just covered the entire pan with all of the cheese in the package until it was just melted and ooey gooey. And as you can see, the first slice that I put in is already melted before I even get halfway done adding the cheese. And this cheese is really thin sliced, so it really only took a couple of minutes to get it melted and ready to serve. And here's how the mushrooms looked when they were done sauteing. I added no oil or butter to them. I just let them cook, and they sweated and made their own liquid. I added a little bit of salt to them. That's all. And so I'm just putting some of these mushrooms on top of my steak and cheese and pepper mixture, and then I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of bacon bits on top of that. And this sandwich just was absolutely ridiculous. It was so good and it was so sloppy, but it was, like I said, it was so good. So it was one of those sandwiches, like I always say, if you're having a sandwich for dinner, make it special. And this one really was something else. I could barely get it together, and yeah, this is mine, so of course I'm using my fingers to smash everything down inside of it. But it was just what you want out of a steak sandwich. It was falling apart. The cheese was just super melty and delicious, and just such a good flavor. And so for the guys, I made a salad to go with theirs, and I have mentioned earlier in the video I can't eat lettuce, so no salad for me, but that's okay. I hope that you enjoyed this week's What's for Dinner, and if you did, that you'll give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please subscribe. Thank you. Bye for now.